normally I start the show off with some type of opener or something like that. But I just wanted to get straight down to business. Today, guys, we're talking about what does failure look like for the Chicago Cubs with the 2025 off season, 2024-2025 off season. Um, and to be quite frank with you guys, honestly, a lot of it looks like doing nothing. It looks like coming out of those winter meetings, being able to get no deal done. It looks like this team looking primarily the same, not really doing anything or giving Craig Counsell anything to work with to make this team competitive in a division that honestly should not be competitive at all. And like I said, it's due to the 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 Cubs front office just inability to close deals. Jed Hoyer has a golden opportunity here. We've talked about that on previous episodes. We've talked about the fact that this is his chance to seal his legacy, to put together a ball club that not only will be competent day in and day out, but that will go on a run here that could potentially see them vying for the NL crown and vying and playing in the show for the World Series. So, um, this is an opportunity here, folks, and I want you to understand this. This is an opportunity that doesn't come around often. This is an opportunity to land big names. This is an opportunity to grow your fan base, to get more subscriptions to the Marquee Network. This is an opportunity for the Chicago Cubs to stamp this C and put them back where they belong in the place of authority in the NL Central. And yeah, no, I think, like I said, this is an opportunity for the Cubs to do some major things, and failure would be 85 wins, 83 wins, 84 wins, no playoff berth. Again, this division is not as good. Literally, the Brewers are trading away pieces because they don't think the Cubs are going to come through and make any deals. The Cardinals are starting over from scratch, rebuilding. They don't think they can make any deals. They're not trying to make any deals. They're trying to get rid of Paul Goldschmidt. They're trying to get rid of Nolan Arenado. They're literally trying to build this team around a Mason win. They're trying to get as many prospects as they can. There's no reason why the Cubs should not be favored to win this division. But in order to do so, we got to make some moves. And we got to make some deals happen. So now, moving on from that, guys, let's talk one Cody Bellinger. I have brought this up and talked about it ad nauseum all week long about the potential of the Yankees and the Cubs making the deal for Cody Bellinger. Last night, I gave the official notice that that deal is all but pretty much done. So yeah, we're going to look and see with that. But how does this deal necessarily affect the Chicago Cubs in a positive manner? Well, if the Cubs are able to make this deal for Cody Bellinger, then they would be saving, in essence, somewhere around $20 million. From the Cubs Insider Report, I read earlier that it feels time more rather than if Cody Bellinger is moved. And like I get to say, they're just ironing out some details. And the main detail is the amount of money the Cubs are willing to send to offset the $52.5 million in guaranteed money over the next two seasons for Bellinger. But here's a simple solution. The Cubs send 7.5 million next year, which is 2025 season, and 5 million in 2026, which is pennies. Pennies, especially for that 2026 season of what the Cubs will have in money. And for this coming season, and then either pay for his buyout or keep him at 20 million if he opts in again. Simple, right? And beyond just making it easier for Brian Cashman to say yes, how much the Cubs are willing to pay down will determine what kind of return they're willing to get. But it sounds like Jed Hoyer's stance has softened on trying to get New York to take on the full freight of Bellinger's deal. And that's why the New York Yankees are willing to offer righty Will Warren in this deal. So, like I said, Warren is that number 5 prospect in the Yankee system. He's a starter who debuted this past season. He does not have great numbers. I'm not going to try to wow you with his numbers. I think because the Cubs brought him down, he would not be a guy that you would see in the lineup this season. He'd be more of a pet project, something to work through and work on. But again, for the Cubs, this is a salary dump. They want Cody Bellinger's money. And especially if you make a trade and get somebody like a Kyle Tucker, you don't need Cody Bellinger on this team. Because I've been trying to get rid of him, trying to move on from him for the longest. This helps do that. So, like I said, moving Cody will open up room for Kyle Tucker in right field. Also, then, like I said, you can move from there, and the Cubs can put even more emphasis and put even more of a stamp on this season by potentially going after a Pete Alonso. So we'll just have to see what happens with that. Well, again, Will Warren, I mean, he's no prize right now, but he's definitely somebody that you can look at and you can see maybe growing in the Cubs system and the Cubs farm system and potentially being somebody in the future. So with that $20 million, then what can the Cubs go do? So the link piece above gets into more of the specifics of adding a Pete Alonso if Seiya Suzuki has to be moved. So if you got to trade Seiya Suzuki because he's unwilling to DH and he does not want to, he's not going to be your right fielder because you have Kyle Tucker. Well, then, like I said, then you have 20 million to maybe go offer Pete Alonso and say, hey, here's 20 million for a season. Come play for us. Come hit home run bombs, DH for us. We'll leave Michael Busch at first base, put Matt Shaw at second base, and then look at what we can do at getting a third baseman, maybe an Alex Bregman. I don't know. The possibilities are endless. You open up $50 million, the Cubs have opportunity now to do a lot with that. And guys will start taking cuts to come play for the Cubs because that team alone right there looks like a team that's going to be vying for at least the National League championship. It puts them right up there with the Dodgers, with the Mets as one of the favorites to be vying for that. I mean, like I said, it couldn't even get couldn't get any better than that for the Chicago Cubs. So, I mean, like I said, it's just all up to the Cubs making these deals, making these transactions happen, and we have to look for and see if they're going to happen. So, moving on from that, let's talk about another person that probably should be talked about. I mean, the Cubs do have him under control for 3 more seasons, but what if we took care of things early? What if we went ahead and locked in Justin Steele and we offered him 3 more years on top of his 3 years of arbitration that he has? So basically, the report came out. Cubs lefty Justin Steele is already under club control through the 2027 season. That means even if they never hammer out an extension with their homegrown ace, the Cubs will have him for age 29, age 30, and age 31, the historical prime years of a pitcher. And all that they'll get for him at arbitration level, estimated no less than 30 million over those 3 seasons. What a steal, no pun intended, for Justin Steele. But I think that this is something where the Cubs should look to try to make a deal earlier on and just get him locked up for those 6 seasons. Then he becomes also a tradable asset should things not work out or should you need to save money later on down the line. But you also take care of him, you lock him in, and you just know you got that lefty in Steele that you can count on in the lineup. So I honestly I think this is a no-brainer. Once the Cubs get everything ironed out with the Tucker trade, if that happens, come to fruition, if with the Bellinger trade, figure out who's going to play third base for you this season. If you trade Isaac Paredes in the Kyle Tucker trade, so then, like I said, you got to go from there. But you can definitely look and see that the Cubs have a good deal in place with a Justin Steele. A good sweet spot for Steele be a deal that values any free agent years at roughly 22 million. Buying out 2 of his free agent years at that number would sign him through the age of 33 with a 5-year deal worth $74 million overall. Adding one more year would make it a 6-year pack for 96 million. So basically, this suggests a deal that guarantees him his 3 arbitration years. So 30 million for 2025, 26, 27, plus 3 more years of free agency at 22 million per year, 66 million for 28, 29, and 2030. That would capture all of Justin Steele's career through age of 34, which always feels like a tipping point age season for starting pitchers. So from there, like I said, I mean, we could have seen the best years of Justin Steele and gotten him at a steal if we decide to lock him into a deal now. So again, this potentially could happen. This is something that the Cubs should look at. Take care of business early. Lock in the guys early. Then all you have to do is worry about locking in Shota in a few years. Like I said, and you can put pitchers around those 2 guys, but you know who you have then. And if you get Roki, oh my gosh, I mean, you're starting 3, very nice, very, very nice rotation right there. And then you plug in 2 more, you can go in free agency and get 2 more on the cheaper side after that. So this is all about for this part right here, talking about Justin Steele, really for me, guys, was just more of a forward-thinking type of move. Let's lock Justin Steele in. If the Cubs are good and viable and valuable and vying for NLCS crowns, like I said, and fighting for the National League, then you look him in, you got your guy. If you do fall back into a rut, let's say maybe 2 or 3 seasons, things don't work out, then you have a tradable asset that's under team control for many years to come, all the way up to 2030. I mean, like I said, you can't beat that. These are the type of forward moves that Jed needs to be thinking about if he is going to stick around as the vice president of the team. This is also what Carter Hawkins needs to be thinking about if he is going to stick right in as the GM of the team. These are things that Cubs fans want them to start thinking about and doing, that forward thinking thing. And we know that Craig Counsell is a forward thinker when it comes to his moves and how he runs the team. So, like I said, it's really up to the front office with that. But I think locking in Justin Steele would be a good move. Now, reporting the last part here, guys, brings me great joy. It is pie in the sky completely. But let's talk about what if Kyle Tucker wasn't the only part of this trade. Let's talk about what if, metaphorically speaking, our man Jed Hoyer really swung for the fences, really tried to put something forth. What if the Cubs also landed in this trade with Kyle Tucker, one, Jose Altuve? Now, just imagine this. Just imagine him hitting leadoff for the Chicago Cubs. Just imagine him playing second base with Dansby Swanson right up the middle. Just imagine what that could do for this Chicago Cubs team. Jose Altuve last season batted .295 with 20 home runs, 65 RBIs, and 185 hits. Just imagine this speedster going from first to second base at Wrigley. Just imagine him being able to score runs and to put the Cubs on the board early. Just imagine what this could do for the psyche of the Chicago Cubs, bringing in a proven winner, a World Series winner. Just imagine what a move like that signifies for the Chicago Cubs. Now, again, this is a rumor. Nothing has been necessarily fully reported on. I just have my sources that have talked about the fact that this could be a portion added to the deal. So I just want you guys to imagine as Cubs fans for a minute. Imagine what that could be like for the Chicago Cubs. Guys, I don't know about you, but I got goosebumps reading that. I get goosebumps just thinking about it. It's almost too fathomable for me to imagine. Now, what would the Cubs have to give in replace of that? I don't know. I have no idea. But for the right deal, Altuve could definitely be worth it. His defense is just like Nico's, if not better, at second base. But he also brings another viable bat. 20 home runs. What, Nico gave us 8, 9 last year, and half of those was during the end of the season. His RBI totals are better than Nico's. His batting average is better than Nico, and that he'll get on base more, give the Cubs more opportunities to score, and he's fast. Sounds to me like a deal the Cubs can't pass up, if you ask me. I don't know, guys. That's just me. That's just me. But just thinking about that deal, just got my whole psyche going. And I'm excited to see what the Cubs do. Hopefully, I'm coming back to you again tonight with another episode talking about the Cubs making that deal. Hopefully, I'm doing an emergency episode. Hopefully, I got some breaking news for you. Hopefully so. We'll see, guys. But that's my time for today. Do me a quick favor. We got new subscribers on this channel. First and foremost, welcome. Thank you for joining. Secondly, if you like the content and if you want the Cubs to trade for Kyle Tucker, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. If you want the Cubs to extend Justin Steele while it's early, hit that like button to this video. And of course, if you want the Cubs to trade Cody Bellinger, go ahead and share this pod with somebody. Share the channel with somebody else and have them subscribe and like as well. Guys, I am Mike Jones. I am so excited to have you all here with me on the CCC. We are doing big, major things over here, and we got some giveaways planned here soon, guys. You want to stay in touch with that? Tap in with us, guys. We are moving as a podcast. And of course, Sunday night, we're going to do, again, another crosstown conversation. White Sox, Cubs, or in the same video. We're going to talk about it all. But I'm excited, guys, for what the Cubs are going to do. And again, when news drops, we drop. So listen, I can't wait to come back and tell you that the Kyle Tucker deal is done. I can't wait to tell you that Cody Bellinger is traded. I can't wait to possibly say we got a second baseman in Jose Altuve too. Ooh-wee. Guys, there's so much going on with the Chicago Cubs. I'm expecting. I'm excited. You should be too. But until next time, again, hey, listen, I appreciate everybody that's subscribing. I appreciate everybody that's enjoying the content. Please, 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 please like, share, subscribe, comment below. Tell me if I'm crazy, if I'm out of my mind for wanting the Cubs to really swing for the fences to get Kyle Tucker and Jose Altuve. Let me know. Let me know. I don't know. A boy can dream, can't he? Let's see. But until next time or until the next news breaks, go Cubs go.